Peter called his friend Mark and said this to him. You know, I've been going to school for this computer for years now, and it's finally about to pay off. I just got hired by a company that's about to pay me $300,000 a year. I am going from making $52,000 a year to nearly $300,000 a year. I said, "Bro, I'm so proud of you. You deserve it. Let's celebrate," he said. No. Wait, before we get into all this, I need your help with something Mark said. Okay, Peter. What's up? Peter said, You know, I've been with my girl, Jean, for about 4 years now. Mark said, Yeah, absolutely. I've been holding down this secret for a little while. That's what's up. Mark said, I know she's happy as hell. Mark said, Are you about to change her life forever? Peter said, Yeah, that's my point. Peter said, I want to give her a loyalty test before I let her know that she ain't gotta work no more. Before I propose, before we start having kids, before I let her know this good news, I have to know if, for sure, she's really a good person. Mark said, I completely understand you. Do you have anything in mind? Peter replied, No. That's what I need your help for. I have no idea. Mark said, Okay, cool. I'm going to call you back in an hour. Mark called Peter back in an hour and said, I came up with this idea. Bro, instead of trying to find out if she really loves you, it would be better if you could trick her with a lot of money. Then we'd have to know how she would act if she came up with all this money. Peter said, How the hell are we going to do that? Mark said, Get her a fake lottery ticket. Peter said that the idea sounds interesting. I can't wait. I'm on my way to the supermarket to get one right now. So, he goes to the supermarket, buys a fake lottery ticket to make it seem like she won $500,000 on a scratch-off. Peter called back Mark and thanked him for the pretty idea. This is pretty smart, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty smart. I've never even thought about that, says Peter. Peter just walked out, drove directly to the supermarket, bought a fake lottery ticket worth $500,000, along with some roses and fried chicken, handed her the fake ticket, and waited to see her reaction. Peter was hoping she'd scratch off the fake lottery ticket and call him with good news. He pictured her voice filled with excitement. Oh, babe, we won! Look, we got $500,000. We're set now. We can travel, save, and finally breathe. That's what he thought the call would be about, like she'd say, Yo, we really did it. Jean immediately scratched the lottery ticket. Excited, she snapped a picture of it and sent it to someone. Her boyfriend, however, grew curious. Who exactly had she sent the picture to? Peter says, Okay, whatever. But deep down he tells himself, now I have to find out who Jean sent this picture to. Couple of hours later, when Jean finally left her phone unattended, he grabbed it to check. She had sent the photo to her sister, asking, Is this real? Did I really win this much money? Her sister replied, Yes, you did win, yeah. And Jean answered, Oh, I'm getting out of here. Meanwhile, Peter had no idea what was coming. Peter thought to himself, This is exactly why money should always be brought up in a relationship. At that moment, he decided to test it. He asked Jean for some money just to see her reaction. Jean refused. She explained that she needed the extra cash because she was preparing to visit her mother in New York. As she gathered her things, ready to leave, she silently vowed to herself, I will never step foot in this house again. Peter knows the ticket is a lie. Yet 2 days have passed, and he still hasn't reacted. He hasn't said a word, hasn't shown a sign. He just lets her believe she's on the verge of cashing it in. Day 2, Peter drove her to the airport for her flight back to New York. Everything seemed fine between them. No arguments, no tension, just a smooth goodbye. But the moment she settled into her seat on the plane, she pulled out her phone and texted Peter. Peter, I need to tell you something before I land. Sweet, but fake, supportive. There's no love lost, but I think it's time we go our separate ways. I feel like we've only been together this long out of comfort, not because we were really moving forward. You deserve the chance to focus fully on your computer tech career. You're brilliant, and I know you'll make it. I'll always love you, but I just don't see us in the same future anymore. After all the drama, she went to the lottery office, hoping to claim her $10 million. The cashier looked at her, shook their head, and said, "I'm sorry, this ticket isn't real. It's fake." Her heart sank. The fantasy collapsed instantly. All the excitement, the decisions, the heartbreak, it had been for nothing. I left everything for this. And it's fake? I can't believe I was so stupid. All that risk, all that pain, and it turns out to be nothing. How did I not see it? I walked away from him for a lie. A fake ticket. I can't even face myself. This was supposed to change my life. Instead, I ruined everything for nothing. I gave up everything for this, and it's worthless. How could I have been so blind?